Oh, that story. Okay. Um, when we finished the battle in Okinawa, that was really the worst battle my ship was in, and we had a lot of kamikazes. In fact, we engaged at least 30 planes, and I got an assist for 29 of them because if you fire at a plane and another ship fires at, you got an assist. You didn't get credit for knocking the plane down. And I got credit for one in particular because it it was coming straight for us, and we knocked him down. And anyway, Okinawa was a long, drawn-out battle. We and at the crux of the thing was that I was being air defense officer, and every time they spotted a plane, at least 100 miles away, they'd start yelling at me on the squawk box, "Hey, there's a bogey!" Call those enemy planes bogeys. Bogey so and so. It's such and such. Okay, okay. And because of these constant calls, I didn't get any sleep for about 34 days. The longest nap I got was about 15 minutes. And I was just worn out. I lost all kind of weight and so forth. I was getting very nervous. And the captain called me up. He said, "Edson," he said, "we'll be going to Japan in just a couple months." He said, "I want you to get some rest." I said, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir." Well, I'm going to have my boat take you out to this little island, Ie Shima. And we'll load you up with all the food and the beer that you want. You just go out to that island, take a book with you, relax. Yeah, yes, sir. So I went out. The book took me out to this beach, and I got on a palm tree and got some nice soft grass, and was reading my book. And gee, about an hour after I got there, 4 little kids were waving at me behind some bushes, and I waved back, and I motioned to come to me. And when they came, I gave each one a candy bar. God, they were carried away. And then they went running to the village. And they got to this darn village. Those villages are really little grass huts, actually. But they did have one large community building. And I thought, well, we took care of that. Geez, about another half hour or so, here comes the big chief and a whole bunch of people walking with him to see me. And he started babbling at me with pidgin English or something. I couldn't understand a word he said, and he couldn't understand a word I said. I smiled as my brother smiled. I didn't know what he was going to do to me. and so he motioned me, "Come on." So he took me over to the village, and we walked into this community building. And he seated me in what looked like a throne, very crude stuff. And they had a cockfight in my honor. They thought I was a hero of some sort. So when the cockfight was over, I took my watch. Gotta go. So I got back out to the boat just in time. Went back to the ship, and I told the executive officer about my experience with the big chief and the whole group. And God, he said, I didn't know that island was occupied. You better not go back. So, so my very brief experience with Ie Shima. But last summer, I was having lunch with a friend, and I told him this story. He had been in the Philippines also, and he said, God, Ie Shima. He said, I was stationed on that island, just on the other side of that island. He was in the civilized part of the island. I was in the wilderness. So that was my Ie Shima story.